Hold up. Why did the marshal have a gun? They knew he was like drugged up and possibly mind controlled. Wow.
He gets in your head. And he's like clearly recovering and crazy. He's like, let's have him have a sidearm. And then he shoots somebody. I'm like, well, that was surprising. Listen, America really doesn't want to have any gun control repeal.
Come to me, and I'll show you a world you never dreamed possible.
If you take the gun from the mentally deficient, like very compromised, mind-controlled marshal, then like where does the slippery slope end, Wanderbot?
Right there.
That was weird.
What? That was weird. See, this is why I want the game to be Cthulhu-y. But instead of just drugs, it's like tentacle monster horrors.
Your sheriff kept you from walking the path, but now he understands its purpose, and he'll join our family in Eden. And if you try to stop him...
Are we playing again now?
Your sheriff was
there we go.
A wall between you and the Father.
We talked to the sheriff like twice. He's not a wall of anything. He's a quest giver lady.
Yeah, was he specifically known for stopping us in any way?
Nope.
I'm like, is that a character trait of his? Was I being anti the bliss specifically, and more so than everyone else or something?
I don't think so.
He's shooting energy balls at us.
Your sheriff is so close now. So close to accepting the word of the Father into his heart.
Yeah, they seem to really enjoy making really weird, surrealist, bonkers levels.
Back from that.
Which makes you wonder why they make so many games that are supposed to be in reality. It's a spectacular gun.
You really do damage to them unless you get close to them. Where's she? There she is.
She was running in place against the wall over here.
Wait, she was?
Yeah. This is a weird visual.
It is. I think I'm gonna have to get rid of my, one of my rocket launchers or something. Oh, well, that gun is gone. Oh, there it is.
You dropped something?
No, there was. Well, I don't have any guns that can just hurt her.
Oh. Oh, because you have the microwave gun and then, like, 2 grenade launchers. Ow.
And, yeah, so grenade launcher, rocket launcher, 50 cal, which, I mean, ain't bad, but runs out of ammo like nobody's business. I guess we get more.
Yeah, there are ammo drops everywhere.
The world is crashing to
Fair enough.
an end. It is diseased and corrupt. The Father is offering you a chance to let go. Stop worrying. To be free.
You know, you'd feel better about the world if you spent less time on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's really your problem. Just reading all day about how doomed the world is on Facebook, but that's just all that Facebook does. To tell you how doomed you are.
You strike, but you cannot destroy what he created.
Ow. Ow, what? I'm down.
There's some danger happening.
Don't stand on a rock. Well, she, like, shot me, and then, like, disappeared, and then I fell over.
I dropped my thing. Oh, no. There it is. The microwave gun's fantastic for fending off the hordes of annoying enemies that are all... When
Yeah,
there's like,
you work
when
on
there's like
that.
6
I'll work
dudes
on her.
chasing you. Well, there's no one.
not
I like
my
the
fault.
free ammo she gives
None
us.
of this was my fault. You think I wanted this? He plied me with drugs. He threatened me. I was 17. I was just a child.
I'm not to blame. I just got that guy to kill himself after murdering somebody. But I'm blameless. Feel bad for me.
You still don't understand. You don't know what it is you're doing, do you? Joseph believes he's our savior. But you will be the one who decides what happens. You were the start. He'll be the end. It was always gonna happen this way. You'll walk the path. You'll rescue your sheriff. You'll be the hero. And then you'll choose. And if you don't listen to him, he'll be right.
What an obnoxious, like, you always win situation.
Yeah.
If you don't listen to him, he'll be right. I'm like, oh great, so he wins no matter what.
Well,
How convenient. Here we go.
yay, bunker.
It is concerning
love
how when you go through this one, how lazy the North guy feels by comparison.
Yeah.
It's the same
'Cause this is
story,
like-
but without all this stuff.
Yeah. Like, this is so much more interesting to look at.
Moose. Although the chromatic operation still makes no sense.
Yeah.
Human eyes don't see an RGB. You've been detected. Spoilers.
Is her bunker just, like, loaded
same.
with drugs?
I guess. It is the same bunker as the other ones, but with plants.
To sing his praise when we first began. I don't have much time, Rook. The blast. You have to stop it. You have to hurry. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that
His eyes are the world's smallest limes.
like me. I was
Why are we watching him?
Yeah, we're just gonna stand here, shoot him with the gun that makes him go poof and fly backwards. Then he can't get on the chair.
Why are we sitting here watching him?
Yeah, why aren't we hurrying? He's like, you gotta hurry, and then we just sit here and like, ooh, is he gonna kill himself? Let's watch. I can't wait.
Like, we have an endless supply of rocks to knock him over with.
Or this gun.
Yeah, or that gun. I was just thinking not everybody doing this mission would have that gun, but they would have an endless number of rocks.
He went the wrong way. That was weird.
Mine, this is hurting a bit. I might die. Yeah.
That's bad.
I'm dead.
Dying's bad for you.
I was like, I'm not getting shot immediately. I'm just gonna... I'm just gonna turn this valve.
Danger.
Hey.
I'm under attack. And actually I'm not entirely sure where you are.
You ran over my face, Keith. You ran over my face.
Well, now we're dead.
Yeah, this time I'll focus on killing people instead of...
This time I'll just stop using the fun gun because it's really bad.
It's so fun, but the range on it is so low.
Yeah.
That, like...
And it doesn't actually kill people unless you're like touching them. Otherwise you have to like shoot them over and over again. Oh, great. Can't wait.
Yeah. Great checkpoint.
Is she just a spooky ghost?
I think so, yeah.
Like, I imagine we're just we're hallucinating all of the plants and all of the everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, how are the trees even growing in here without light?
I'm gonna wreck it.
Ow. I'm down.
Eesh.
I did a good job at
That not get him?
dying.
That sucks. This sucks.
Amazing grace.
Coming.
How
I just had to kill the guys.
sound.
Oh. You know, I should probably get rid of the fun gun. There we go. Now I actually have a gun.
The gun, the fun
gun.
fun.
Yeah.
Crank time. He's super dead by now.
Yeah, probably.
We really wasted all of the optimum time for him not dying.
Okay. He's probably just looking at it.
I mean, our character's the most he's leading a revolution, yet is strangely simultaneously the most passive idiot man ever. Because like in every cutscene, we're just so passively standing around in all these situations where we just really shouldn't be. I remember being in jail and being like just within arm's reach of the guy that we just want to kill, and we're like, we're not even gonna try.
Yeah.
Like, no, we need to let a monologue 3 inches from our face for like 2 minutes straight without making any attempt to deal with a guy that's a mass murderer killing everybody, and it's probably gonna kill you.
I'm dead. I was standing next to a spawn point. They spawned on my butt.
Not the butt spawns. You're supposed to do yoga to avoid that.
Ah.
That's not wrong. I'm sorry, partner, but I need to get out of here. I can't see straight from this bliss. It's all on you. Blow this place into oblivion.
Get up.
Guess I should probably cling to life. I like how you just look like a really shitty spaceman.
You're a shitty spaceman.
I'm a real spaceman.
The Stormmaker says it ain't so bad.
I used to listen to that song a lot.
Dreammaker's gonna make me mad.
I don't think I liked any other song from that album. Just that one.
You didn't hear like the baffling lyrics of "Are we human or are we dancer?" Our time is vital, or something.
I just liked
I'm
the
like,
tune on that one.
I was so weirdly mad at that song. I was like, "What are you saying?" I think that the same
Oh yeah,
song
that was definitely.
That song forcefully never made sense aggressively. Like the killer songs don't. Like
the music video is like intentionally obtuse.
Like killer songs don't usually make sense anyway, but that one like forcefully refused to make sense. Are we human or are we dancer? And I think that's the same one that's like, I've got soul, but I'm not a soldier. And I'm like, I hate you. I hate the song and I hate you. What are you saying? Stop it. Why are you so confident with your weird nonsense? You're not Serj Tankian. You can't do that.
Was that the Killers or Coldplay?
That was Killers. They were in Coldplay mode, evidently.
It was Coldplay. I have no idea. Okay. I'm like questioning my
Oh, because you thought that was a Coldplay song?
yeah. I'm like questioning my high school experience because I got all of my music from like my friends.
Oh.
And so like I haven't been able to find certain albums.
You haven't been able to
Because
find them?
Yeah, well, so if your friend hands you like a mixtape, that's like ripped or whatever.
Well, I don't mean to be Mr. Brightside or anything, but now you have a large enough audience that if you ever can't find a song, you could just ask.
That is true. That actually, yeah, I mean that's
and then
that's a valid.
then you could say somebody told me. I can't think of more Killers references. Do you think the fourth chapter summon, animal summon of this game is going to be a neon tiger?
Oh.
I own a lot of Killers albums.
Yeah, apparently you do. I own none.
Oh, we didn't get to jump for it. That's the most fun part.
I was gonna jump. I was gonna jump and wingsuit away like a badass. Oh, well,
they're
we're
like,
dead.
well, we've got to do the story.
Well,
that moment was when it was most obvious that those clouds are 2D. Those explosion clouds that look like nuclear explosions or whatever.
Yep.
It was
Well,
only
we've
a
completed
kiss.
every
It was
region.
only a kiss.
So where do we go next?
Home, Wanderbot. We go home.
We just leave. We've killed all of.
You look like hell.
Yeah, well, I feel like it too.
You need help getting back inside?
Hell no, I'll manage.
I didn't think you could pull this off. You saved a lot of people here today, Rook. Don't forget that.
Hey, can you give me a hand?
Gotta go.
You know, there was a moment just before you arrived. I just lost all hope. I couldn't see a way out. But you led the way. A lot of good people died, but everyone here, all of us, were alive because of you. And I'm damn proud of you. Now, I want you to find that goddamn Joseph Seed, bring him to justice, or put him in the ground. That's an order, Deputy.
Another seal has been opened. My family, my brothers, my sisters, they've been taken from me by a snake in the garden.
Really?
I thought I knew God's plan. But I was wrong. I was blind. But now I see. You took my family from me so that I could have yours. We will welcome them with open arms. Just as we will welcome you. We will be waiting for you. Where it all began.
It's just so obnoxious how he just attributes the most arbitrary meaning to everything that happens in his life.
Yep.
We unlock Sin Eater.
Listen up, Deputy. I'm thinking we've reached the end of the line. Time to cowboy up and deal with Joseph Seed once and for all. He's waiting for you. At his church.
Where it all began. So I was wrong.
Okay.
Kid, if you're near a shop, you might want to pop in. There's some new toys you might want to play with.
I've got Soul, but I'm not a soldier is Killers, but it's not human. I think it's the same album, it's just not that song.
Alright, you got this.
They kind of blend together.
A lot of that album kind of does. They blend their songs. Who are we shopping with right now? There's no one here.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're just grabbing stuff from behind the counter and then just...
Mine.
Yeah.
Mine.
Ooh.
Anyway, back to my good gun. PSA 50.
There we go. I got a panel.
I don't really like the mandatory sidearm mechanic of these games.
That's why I use the grenade launcher. Because the sidearm is just extraordinarily powerful.
There's a grenade launcher sidearm?
Yeah, it's on first page. Look for the thing with the shark mouth.
Oh shit. There's the
Yeah.
M79.
Yeah, that's what I've been using this
That's an
entire time.
absurdly good sidearm choice.
Yeah, that's why I've been using it.
What the fuck? It's like
Yeah.
nonsensically better than what has otherwise been a slot I literally never use all game. I'm just like, wow, it's a bummer how I have 4 slots and one of them I'll just never use ever. I've got an America gun of America. America. What are you laughing at, about? What'd you do?
Here. Do you see this? Do you see this woman just vibrating
Nope.
by the door right here?
No.
I'm standing over
I see
her.
a
No?
woman that's just
Okay.
laying there.
I walked out the door and a lady walked into the door and was like, "Oh, yeah." She was trying to. Well,
Now there isn't a
there
woman.
goes the door.
And the woman.
Ow!
Ow.
Ow! Why does he shoot me?
It's your fault. You did it.
But effectively, she was blocking the door, so I couldn't leave. So I gave her a whack with the whack paddle.
This whole weapon just looks like an impromptu fireworks tube for America.
It does. We
I know
should
they're
leave.
spotting
They're
us.
coming after us.
They're
Yeah.
spotting us.
You want to warp us to Father's compound?
Working on it. We have to make sure we're not in danger. We're gonna beat this game with Boomer.
Yeah.
Come here, Boomer.
Which is good. Yeah. Well, I get the feeling Boomer's just gonna despawn.
I don't like how they're not allowed half the time.
Yeah.
Why do we have
It's
them
dumb.
then?
Like, we unlock this huge posse to help us, and then anytime it matters, it's like, no.
On one hand, I'm surprised they killed off quest NPCs, but on the other hand, I'm like, well, you probably don't need... The quest they do, regardless, probably disappears after that, because what's the point of that if you already liberated the zone? And also, if there was any one character that was going to be the one who gets killed, it's the one that's like, I have one defining cute character trait, love me. Get it? I want people to wear the buttons. Let's reinforce this 3 times. Oh no, I died, it's tragic. And then she holds the button with the bullet hole in it. Like, oh no, I'll remember you with this. I'm like, that was the only character trait that anyone in this whole camp had.
Yeah, because they never gave anybody enough time to develop as anything.
They almost
That's why I'd rather
it's almost
they
like they
just
should stop dividing each zone into separate villains.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. I was gonna say they should just give up on plot.
Or they could do what Saints Row does also, like the original Saints Row, which is that you have each zone has its own villains and factions and whatever, but you have the same teammates the whole time. Instead of this approach where it's like you have to learn a new cast of characters every time you go to a different zone, so it's like it genuinely feels like the game is over every time we beat a zone. Like it feels like...
I think it would have been so much better if all 4 of the villains were working against us at the beginning and like working together, and that every time you kill them the game actually gets kind of simpler. You know, so the meat of the game, like 90% of the game, is spent trying to kill even the first one.
And then like once you get that, we did that beginning part and freaking like my brain broke.
Beginning part? You mean the yes man, John?
Oh, I was just saying like when we beat these zones, like we're driving that guy's home, the guy home. It's like the credits should just roll at that point. Is what it feels like is gonna happen. And then and the game's like, now get reinvested again, and it's like, what are you doing?
In other people this time.
And every single one of them ends with a dramatic scene of like, oh no, isn't this tragic? What's happening to these characters you care about? And I'm like, who's that? I haven't learned their names yet.
When the Lamb broke the 5th seal, I saw under the altar the souls of the martyrs.
Shoot him in the face!
Slain because of the word of God.
No, we're here to arrest him, remember?
Shoot him in the face!
You made martyrs of my family. And I am prepared to do the same to yours.
What the fuck?
But God is watching us, and He will judge us on what we choose in this moment. I told you that we were living in a world on the brink, where every slight, every injustice, where every choice reveals our sins. And where have those sins led us? Where have those sins led you? Your friends have been taken and tortured, and it's your fault. Countless people have been killed, and it is your fault. The world is on fire, and it's your fault. Was it worth it? Was it? When are you gonna realize that every problem cannot be solved with a bullet? When you first came here, I gave you the choice to walk away. You chose not to. In the face of God, I'm making you that offer one last time. You put down your guns. You take your friends. You leave me my flock. And you go in peace.
Go in peace. You're fucking insane.
You see? We never should have been here in the first place.
You know what to do, Rook. God is watching. Every slight, every injustice, and every choice reveals our sin. John was wrong.
Your sin is not wrath.
It's fun.
Watch the world suffer and burn and swallow your pride. And the Lamb broke the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. And the sun became black, and the moon turned to blood.
God, we're so passive during cutscenes.
This is stupid.
I'm so mad all the time in this game.
Yeah.
So my choice was resist or walk away, and I hit resist, obviously. Because fuck you? Ow, Jesus. I'm down immediately. Oh,
I'm dead too.
Yeah, she snuck up. She shot me in the face with the
she snuck
shotgun
up.
and then went behind you. I'm like, well, that went really poorly. Of course I'm not gonna walk
let's try
away.
that
He
again.
doesn't even make sense. He actively, aggressively doesn't make sense. He's like, when are you gonna learn not every problem we solve with a bullet? Your side had
He's the
firing
biggest
squad
hypocrite.
executions. Everywhere we go, you see people lined up against walls and executed. We've seen that everywhere.
They welcome Eden's gate into their hearts. They will die for me.
One of the oh Jesus, you just flew backwards at me across the level.
Problem solved.
One of the first things we saw in the entire game was people a loving couple like holding hands dead, and Boomer was like, "Oh, my masters are dead." And that was, we didn't do anything yet at that point. That was the first thing we visited, and everything was destroyed everywhere all the time. Are they all revived already?
I'm working on it.
Are they all on our team?
Yeah, they are. If they've got the blue.
Huh. That was quick.
Yeah.
How did he magically get everyone at the same time? Like, he's like this fucking all-powerful deity, obnoxious ass character that just things work out for him whenever they need to, even though he's losing the whole game.
And you threw it all away. You
It's all-
brought the world crashing down around us. Don't you see that?
It's also hard to take a villain seriously that looks like Heath Ledger's Joker.
Be gone, demon.
Here.
He's trying to mind control our friends.
So we are actually going to get the power of friendship ending. Holy shit! We are getting the power of friendship
all of
ending.
our friends are joining us one by one.
Non-JRPG. Yeah.
Stand before the storm.
This is everything about this is so absurd. This is the ending of a narrative? What the hell?
What narrative?
This is the out of the 4 endings, this is the worst one.
What are the other endings?
The other 3 territories all had better endings than this. They should just roll credits after one of those, because this is hilarious. What is happening?
Bad.
Yep, now all of our companion characters are coming in.
Yep.
Yeah, these are the ones that follow us around. Oh, do we get to rescue Boomer? Is he gonna be evil Boomer and we have to shoot him in the face to make him love us again?
I think Boomer is going to be fine. Jesus Christ. Hurt got messed up.
We don't have to shoot the love back into Cheeseburger.
No, my gun!
It's okay, we're hitting them with love bullets, Wanderbot. This makes sense. Everything in this
Where'd
game
my
makes
gun go?
sense.
Son of a bitch!
This is a narrative.
Why is
this is a narrative?
Why is the revive button the same as the pick
Welcome
up gun
to my
button?
life.
God damn it! Oh, there it is, right there.
Forgive them, Father. They know not what they do.
We could have skipped all that by just shooting him in the face immediately, which was our goal.
The Lamb.
Yeah.
Open the 7th seal. There was silence in heaven. And the 7 angels before God were given 7 trumpets. And there were noises, thunderings, lightnings, and an earthquake.
Joseph Seed, you're under arrest.
And I heard a great voice from the temple say to the angels, "Go your ways. and pour from the vials the wrath of God upon the earth.
Hey, Fallout.
It is finished, child. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Sing great.
Oh, here we go. Man, the narrative is the worst part of this game by a mile.
Yep.
Holy shit. None of this works besides visuals. It's just like, isn't this a striking visual? Isn't this a striking visual? Isn't this a striking visual on loop every 5 minutes for the entire game?
Holy shit, you are faster than I am by a mile.
Are you driving too?
I'm in an ATV behind you.
Oh, wow, you lost that bet. Enjoy all the radiation.
Actually, the game just crashed on me, I think.
Oh no, did it really? Now?
It's totally frozen on my end.
Oh boy. Oh, I died.
Well,
a small pine
no,
tree fell
okay,
in
so it
front of me.
hasn't crashed on me.
Like a pine
okay,
tree or
maybe it
something
has?
fell in front of me, and I ran over the very tip of it and instantly
Where
exploded.
are you?
I died.
Are you in a loading screen?
Yeah.
Or? Okay.
Loading time. Wow, this is a very long loading screen for this.
I think we hit the super desync because effectively you were stopped in the road in front of me. I caught up to you. The game is still running, but it can't figure out what the hell to do.
We might have to like reboot.
Here, I'm gonna just Alt F4.
I think the game can't figure out what to do because like you were. Yeah, I don't know. I'm in a loading screen like forever, I think.
I Alt F4'd, however, it didn't take the game. Okay, there goes the game. Tell me if you start moving again.
What do I even do at that point? Just keep going? Because I got. Can I re-invite you during the final mission?
I don't know.
So, hi everybody, it's Keith, which you might be hearing this on Wander's channel too. That's the error I get, because apparently I can't invite Wander anymore after the game broke or something. It didn't even actually crash. It just straight up broke strangely this time around. So I have to finish it on my own and send him this. That's a bummer. Yeah, I can't invite anybody.
Christ, kid. You see this shit? Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, get to the goddamn bunker now!
He was right! He was right!
We're gonna die.
This ending is horrible.
We're gonna die! We're gonna die! We're gonna die! We're gonna die!
God, get us to that bunker! Go!
I can't tell if it thinks it's trying to make a point or something. Or what?
Jesus! Oh, Jesus! Oh, Jesus!
Oh, there it goes. Alright, let's try to avoid trees this time.
He was right! He was right!
That's the one from last time. Oh, shit, I hit it again. A+ on my part. He was right, he was right. No. He probably mind-controlled somebody to fire the missile in the first place. He's probably the one that caused this, explicitly, not like predictively or something. But even then, like, Outlast 2 just happened recently. The whole, like, oh, the cultists were really predicting the real doomsday is, like, so not interesting. But oof.
Everything's on fire! Everything!
What the fuck was that?
Oh, did I hit that one too? The parachute icon popping up.
You know what this means? It means the politicians have been silenced. It means the corporations have been erased. It means the world has been cleansed by God's righteous fire. But most of all, I was right. The collapse has come. The world as we know it is over. I waited so long. I waited so long for the prophecy that God whispered in my ear to be fulfilled. I prepared my family for this moment. And you took them from me. I should kill you for what you've done. But you're all I have left now. You're my family. And when the world is ready to be born anew, we will step into the light. I am your father. And you are my child. And together we will march to Eden's gate.
Holy shit, man. First of all, I'll just comment real quick on the fact that there was like a compass on the top of the screen during that cutscene for some reason. I don't know what that was for. There was also a parachute icon for a moment. Like, I think it just had interface freaking out. Nothing about the narrative of this game really works. It features almost no characters that have like a personality and development of any kind, really. The villain in particular is so undercut by the fact that you spend all this time with these random other family members for the entire game, and then out of nowhere it's like, by the way, remember the villain? He showed up once per region to be vague. It's mostly what he says is act vague, and like the motivation of him doesn't make any sense on any level, because like he's like, oh, the collapse is coming, we better prepare for the collapse. I predicted the collapse of everything. Okay, sure. So, you know, tell people the world's gonna end and gather up in your bunkers and go hide. Oh wait, they were like domestic terrorists that were mass murdering hundreds or thousands of people and engaging in firing squads and torturing people and conditioning their minds and making super wolves, and like none of the stuff that they did even vaguely seems to match up with the idea of being a cult that's just like, oh no, the world's gonna end, hide in these bunkers, which is what they were doing. They had set up a bunker for each family member, which over there, even there, I'm like, why are you separating? I guess they're gonna each lead a bunker of separate people. But why weren't they just all... Why go beyond the bunkers? Like, why does the game happen? Nothing about the part where it becomes a Far Cry game matches up with his, like, oh no, hide from the end of the world bunker idea. And And just so many moments where all our character had to do was just shoot the person, like over and over again. Like obviously with Bliss, she was constantly in like visions and crap, and we weren't physically in the room with her as far as we could tell, but maybe we were, I don't know. But like there was so many other moments with the other guys where it's just like just get them, they're right there. What do you do? What is this weakness for monologuing that you have, protagonist man? Were you Mojo Jojo in another life? Like, and monologuing is your kryptonite, and you just brain deactivates and you stand there like in a daze? Wait, Jonathan Colt? Oh, Jonathan Colon, not Jonathan Colton. I'm like, what? Why is he a programmer and not doing the music? I'm so baffled by this game. Its tone. Look at how grimdark and self-serious the beginning is and the ending is. Like, this is a game that has like some Outlast level of like gore that's implied, of like a person suiciding into the helicopter blade in order to down you at the beginning of the game, and it ends with the nuclear holocaust of the ending of the entire world and all this serious shit. But then it's like, we're gonna go to the Testy Festy and we're gonna go rescue the grizzly bear that's named Cheeseburger. Is the the diabetes cheeseburger bear, and this guy over here worships monkeys. And like, what is the tone? All these side quests and stuff like that are all filled with this tone you would expect from a game that is about like wacky co-op adventures where you go clear out a bunch of dudes. It feels like it's supposed to have the tone of like Saints Row. And yet all of the actual mandatory story stuff is so self-serious and nonsensical, but like the characters in each of the villains is barely developed. Well, like they're the most developed characters in the game because they don't have any competition really, but they're so shallow and one-dimensional, and they are like trying to win at the Olympics of talking for as long as possible while not actually like saying anything. Like not making a point or not standing for anything, and they seem to be trying to be so apolitical and not offend anyone by having this shooter that's in the United States that they don't align with any belief system that exists, or don't really seem to have any point to make. They're just vaguely saying shit, and then they act like you're the bad guy and you're infringing upon all this stuff, and like, oh no, what are you doing, destroying everything? And it's like, but you guys, you can't pretend that like you aren't aggressors and aren't like actual mass murderers, but they never acknowledge that. And it's so like, the only part of the game that worked for me narrative wise was the dude that carves sins into people's bodies, and then you find out at the end that like when you don't just submit, he like threatens you into it via blackmail or threatening somebody else like to kill that person if you don't do it and stuff like that. And it's like, when that happens, like, okay, see, he's this delusional asshole, and even he has like all these dumb messed up tactics he uses when somebody doesn't do what he wants them to, whereas everybody else is just like everyone else is just baffling and doesn't make sense. And I can't even try to point out like, what are they even trying, like, are they trying to make a point by him being right the whole time? But like the idea of you not like the idea of you walking away doesn't even begin to make sense, because they're not a peaceful doomsday cult that's just like, oh, hide away from the bad thing happening, get the word out, we all gotta hide. They're horrible mass murderers that kill everyone they can. It's like, almost nothing works, and there's so little for me to tear apart about the like actual motivations of the enemies, because there's so little we know about them, even after playing a game for like 15-20 hours. Like they don't stand for anything or mean anything beyond the part where you should hide from the explosion that's apparently going to happen. And like the only fun part of this game is run around with a friend and, you know, take over the territory, do a bunch of quests where you shoot a bunch of dudes at a base over and over again. Which even that, like, kind of feels like it should have way more variety. Most open world games seem to have more than that. Admittedly, we weren't really doing the vehicle challenges, but it was a bit much how often you just walk in and shoot all the dudes in a base over and over again. Like, that was weird too. But overall, I would say what the game reminds me, I think, is of True Detective Season 2, which, if you haven't seen it, True Detective was known as being this just fantastically done show on every level practically, and it had this big, like, it had this following there, and they destroyed it in Season 2 because Season 2 was baffling. It was like this, where it's like every scene that happens seems like a good scene. Like when you're up there on the statue and tripping out and she has wings and you're supposed to jump and you find out that everyone else died from the fall, and there's so many striking visuals. Like that ending with the nuclear bomb should be some cool shit, but it's so devoid of context and narrative through line that makes any of it mean anything or work, that it's just confusing or ineffective at best. And that's what True Detective Season 2 was constantly. It's like every single scene I saw, I was like, this is a scene from a good show. I wish I could watch that show. Because there seemed to be like a lack of connective tissue that made it all come together as a show. It was like a show that was somehow less than the sum of its parts, which is not usually a thing you hear people say. Usually you have like the compliment, wow, it's more than the sum of its parts. Like, no, True Detective Season 2 and Far Cry 5 are both less than the sum of their parts, because they have all these good elements that just don't come together cohesively at all. Speaking of the narrative specifically, the game's fun. The game's fine. It ran fine. We'd had fun shooty times. It probably should have more diverse objectives than cleaning out bases over and over again, which is mostly what it was. That's kind of a bummer how much they want you to do the same thing, but you know, the one thing they have you do most of the game, it's fun enough. I enjoyed my time with the game. I'm just talking about the narrative mostly here because that's what we're ending on, because that's, you know, that's how games end, is by closing up the narrative. All three of the regional endings were better endings than the real ending was. Like, in fact, they all felt like the credits were about to roll, and then the credits just didn't, which was weird. That's a weird feeling to have when you're playing a game, when it's like, oh, it's over now, and then it's just not over, and it keeps going, and you're like, but as the player, you kind of feel done at that point, and then it keeps going. And so having the final chapter just happen with no, or like, it's like, oh, you finished the last zone, boom, you do the final boss guy, and he just happens, and that's it. It's just like, you just walk in, and he's just there in front of you, and you, for some reason, you don't shoot him in the face, even though I've been, without hesitation, shooting people in the face thousands of times over the course of the last, like, 15 hours. It's easy. It's the main thing I do. But whenever the most threatening thing in the entire game shows up, I don't do that, almost as if I know conveniently that he's about to have a grand reveal behind me, that if I don't shoot him in the face, like, all my companions are magically mind controlled, but only the ones that aren't members of my squad, because those ones have to be hostages for some reason. Or the fact that of 3 territories, 2 of them had the same storyline, which is that they mentally conditioned somebody into working for them via their mind control methods, and then that person is a sleeper agent that kills people within the base. Like, they did that twice. And it'd be one thing if it was like a Mass Effect game or a Dragon Age game where it's like you play for like 60 hours or whatever, or 30 hours, or like some great number of quests, and there just happen to be 2 quests somewhere in there that touch on the same subject twice. But no, it's like there's 3 regions total in this game, 3 primary quests, and 2 of them are the same thing? I'm like so baffled by that. And they have this weird fixation on like dream sequences, but while they're visually snappy, they're mechanically the worst parts of the game because you're not really doing anything interesting. And so in particular, when the final boss fight shows up, it's like, it's not an interesting scenario to play through. I was just standing in the open and shooting anything. I was shooting the boss guy whenever he showed up, and then reviving anyone that was down, and just looping basically. And it's like, it's weird to have the game end on a note that doesn't demand anything of you mechanically. Like, you don't have to do anything interesting. And that's especially weird because each of the bosses you take down also end in a chapter where you aren't really expected to do anything particularly mechanically demanding. and it basically it shows like unless they do a trip out sequence, each boss themselves is not. It feels mechanically indistinct from each of the core of the game half the time, but like that's a problem. And I don't mean like wow it's so cohesive. It's not supposed to be completely cohesive. It's supposed to be some kind of spike of challenge or something interesting happening, but instead it's like usually when you get to the boss of each region or the final dude, there's fewer mechanics in play than the rest of the game, and less is happening, and then you just had to sleepwalk through it, and then the story happens at you where somebody is just monologuing noise at you and not really making any sense. And then the game just ends and you're like, what was that? Weird game. So that was Far Cry 5. It's fun. It has full co-op until it bugs out like that. Which, by the way, it's convenient I'm recording this and stuff like that, but like, if we were just a normal couple of people playing this game that were just random dudes and we weren't YouTubers not sharing footage or communicating and stuff like that, like, right here, this would be Wander not getting to see the ending. Because the way they did co-op is that only the person hosting gets progress in the campaign. So I can't just be like, oh yeah, I'll just beat the game myself and you can beat the game yourself. It's the last level, who cares? We made it this far. No, only I could do that. Wander can't beat the game without playing the entire game from scratch, or however far he has in his personal file, which is separate from our series, our playthrough. So having the game bug out and not let the other player back in during the final mission is like, how could you not have the sourest taste in your mouth if you were a normal consumer and that happened to you? Boy, oh boy. So thank you for watching like always. If you enjoyed this game, you're not wrong. It is fun. I like the game, the part where I play it, but I don't know how anyone could defend the story. I'm so baffled. It's just, you have to just be happy with cool visuals and not be thinking about any of it or expecting anything of it, I guess, because it just doesn't do anything with anything. It's wow. It's so weird because this is like the franchise where, you know, like Far Cry 3 happened, where people were like so enamored with this villain and how interesting they supposedly were, and to the point where I heard about constantly without having even played that particular game, because I only played 4 and 5. And this is not that. I hope not. I hope people don't think it's that, because it sure as hell doesn't even slightly feel like that. Thanks for watching like always, guys, and I'll see you next time.
Judge not, and you will not be judged. Condemn not, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Take your friends, my child, and go.
Rook, let's go.
What? What are you doing? Rook. Sheriff!
Get in the truck.
I'm not leaving.
Hudson, get in the truck.
You lost your fucking mind.
Get in the goddamn truck! Sometimes it's best to just leave one enough alone. Let's go.
Sir, with all due respect,
What the fuck? We can't just leave those people.
We're not gonna leave those people. We're going to Missoula. We're gonna get the National Guard and we're gonna bring the hammer down on that goddamn place.
No. No way. I'm not gonna be a part of this. You heard what he said.
You're gonna do exactly as you're told, Pratt.